I said that on several of these events that what the company's looking for as an output from this is a resilience and a self-possession about you, and the ability to be flexible in the organisation, and that's why they put these things on in the first place. And that resilience and flexibility comes about from thinking skills and understanding other people. So I'm going to share with you an idea about differences, and I want to just use it as a basis of discussion. So I'm going to go through the theory and then give you an example, hopefully the using example, make it a bit more fun than just a dry lecture. So the idea of this one is that some people tend to think forward into the future and others are more interested in today. Yeah? It's a 4-box grid. All over psychology, it's 4-box grids. One of those things. And some people tend to be externally focused and interested in what other people think of them and what other people are doing, whereas some people are more internally or introverted. It's been called, but I don't think that's appropriate, but more internal to themselves. Yeah, I think it's a corruption of the term. Now that produces this 4 different areas. Now, before we go into these, I think we could move from one to the other, depending on the context in which you find yourself. And I think it's a scale rather than extremes. Now let's take, for instance, a forward-thinking external person is looking for goals. And in a business, you have to have work in that context. Otherwise, you can't work with other people, because you need to agree where you're going and some measure of how to get there. So goals are really important in business, but if you do that 8-10 hours a day, when you get home, you might have had enough of goals and not want to think about the future. Yeah. Whereas some people, depending on the job, spend their time thinking about right now, what's happening right now, and are not focused on goals. When they go home, they want to sort out the weekend. Yeah. So that's an example of how you can shift from one box to another. Does that make sense? But it does produce a very different language, and if we're not aware that a person's speaking in that language, we can miss the point and actually start to not understand the other person. So if you're moving offices and you get told we're about to move office, the first reaction, remember, is denial, resistance. Yeah. So a person in goal area is going to be saying, well, what is it, when we get there, what will be there? Will I have these facilities? How will it affect my work? Where am I going to be working? Whereas a person who's in the present moment is saying, well, we've got this running at the moment, what am I supposed to do with this right now? Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So I classified that person as a goal person, and a person that's external is interested in people, but in today as a person on the journey. Yeah. So on a train, if I can use your area, the journey person would be looking at people travelling with them, maybe playing cards or doing charades or joining in with some activity on the train. The other person's looking at time, what train are we up to? What station are we up to? Are we on time? That kind of thing. Yeah. I think you can see that if you don't take that into account, you can be talking at cross purposes with somebody. So it's kind of important to understand how the other person organises their world and their thinking. Yeah. Whereas internal people, if they're in today, only in today, they repeat. So this is the kind of person, okay, kind of person's post-lunch, isn't it? What's happening to me too, but I can't go to sleep. You'll all know this. That's a cool story. This is the kind of person that gets up at 6 o'clock, has a shower out at 6:15, has a poo at 6:20, has breakfast at 6:30, bacon, eggs, not those eggs, these eggs. Gets this, the 8:15 bus to work, arrives at 10 to 9. And the day is always the same. Now, a lot of people would say, oh my God, I can't stand people like that. But if you don't have people like that in your organisation, you hit a problem. Because these people are really good at repeat stuff. And if you're not, then stuff starts to go wrong. If you try to give a repeat person a goal-based issue, it upsets them. And I had someone working for me just like that, Jill, many years ago. It was my first encounter with this. When I got it wrong, we were up like that. When I got it right, she worked on the Trojan. It was fantastic the amount of work she put out. It was about valuing her best skill, like we talked about this morning, and not focusing on our difference. See, for me, where are we going? How far are we getting so far? What have we got to? What do we need still? Jill is, where's my work? I'll do my work. You know? And she worked really hard. She did a lot of work. And to be honest, she did the work I couldn't bear to do. So it just made a good partnership at work. Yeah. Now, the person who's looking to the future, but internally focused, is interested in sustaining their income. Is he getting more than I am? That kind of thing. Yeah. So they're actually sustaining their future. Okay, so that's the model in brief. Is that okay? There's many different ways of looking at people. It's just one of them. Okay. So, to make that come to life, my wife is a journey person. I'm a goal person. So I'm going to tell you about my weekend. This only take 5 minutes. All right. Friday night is always the same. It goes like this, and I still can't learn some block. I say, Sue, what do you want to do this weekend? Because I'm in goal. She says, I don't mind, I just want to be with you and the kids. Yeah? Okay, fine. So, Saturday morning we don't get up early, we watch a bit of telly in bed, have breakfast around 10, you know, that sort of thing. Eventually, at some time during the day, I think the wind changes or something, and she says, I'd like to go out. So we go to Staines or we go to Windsor, doesn't matter, she makes an arbitrary decision and off we go home. The 2 kids are still at home and the 2 of us. I'm going to go sit at the Cinnamon Cafe in Windsor Central Station and have a coffee and a cinnamon bun. The boys go off and kill aliens down the road, you know, which is their thing. And then we'll go around and do some what they call launch shopping. Do you know that? So we go to a lot of shops and don't buy anything. But that's perfect. I won't buy it right now. I won't be there next week and I can save a fortune. Okay? That makes sense. Then we'll have another coffee and the day's getting on. And all of a sudden, it's, oh my God, Harry hasn't got any trousers for school next week. Right. There we are in Windsor and the trousers are, guess where? In Staines. Which we could have gone to. It was an arbitrary decision to go to Windsor. Fine. So now we have to get into the car and we shout to the boys, oh no, I've got another 3,000 aliens to kill before we can go. Shut the hell up, get in the car. So now we get to Windsor Staines, about 5:15. And of course all the shops in Staines are full of young people who want to go home. Yeah? They want to go out for that tonight, so they've got all the shutters halfway down. So we all duck under the shutter. Couple of shops and we get a pair of trousers that Harry doesn't want, he doesn't like them, but that's all there is, so shut up and wear them sort of thing. Yeah? And the shutters come down and we're outside and I'm standing there thinking, right, what's next? So I say, what would you like to do now? I don't mind, whatever you want. So we do another little bit of window shopping and then eventually it becomes time for dinner and I say, do you know, I fancy a curry. Would you like a curry? No, I hate that, it makes my breath smell. Okay, let's have a pizza. No, I'm not paying for flipping bread. It's just bread. Okay, well let's go and have a Chinese. No, another meal. You know, 10 minutes after eating. All right, let's go back and ask Italian. No, another meal 3 weeks afterwards. What? It's her sense of humour. You know, Chinese versus Italian. So we go through like 5 different options, all of which she says, no, that's not good enough. And I say, okay, where do you want to eat? And she says,
I'm not bothered.
So here's the thing. I can take that as stupid and annoying and wasteful. But she's got a better life than me, hasn't she? Think about it. I mean, there's loads of little crises that she can overcome. But she just takes it as it comes. She's laid back, and everybody loves my missus. She's the gentlest woman on the planet. She is fantastic. What I know she's doing with me, I haven't got a clue. She's way out of my pay grade, to be honest. If you saw a picture of her, you'd agree. But the point is about this is I want to be more like her at the weekend. Yeah? You give me a rest. No. It's about learning about the differences, what they mean, what's the benefit. It's not about just seeing as differences. It's really important to value the difference, even if it's really frustrating. And I tried it once. What do you think happened? I purposely became German one weekend. I'll never do it again. What do you think happened? What do you think my wife did?
She became God.
She filled the gap. Absolutely. It worked a treat and was miserable. I've got my role, she's got hers, and it works. And when it turns the other way around, well, I'm sitting there thinking, no, you shouldn't be making that decision. And she's saying, what's the matter with you? Don't you care? So as soon as we swapped roles, if we wanted to swap roles, we'd have had to give it time to settle in, like you were saying, but leadership doesn't happen at once. It takes time. Do you see the point about difference? Yeah? What I'm trying to say here is it's a thing to understand and to value and use the best from. And the more annoying it is, in a way, the more certain you are there's going to be value there. So if someone's really hacking you off, guess what? Use it. Use it as a strength builder.